Path of Night, Brine and Blood is an actual play Hunter the Reckoning podcast set in the world of darkness. We're all friends, we're all here to have fun, but our story can include graphic violence, drug use, sexual content, and other mature themes. Content warnings can be found in the show notes. We talk at our table about safety, comfort, and consent, both as players and storytellers. We know what to expect, we're all excited to be here, and we want you to feel the same. So listener discretion is advised. Now, let's take back the night.
Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Last time on Brine and Blood. The Circle of Imbued explained the concept of edges to Dallas, mysterious gifts from the messengers that can give the imbued an edge in their fight against the creatures in the dark. Dallas got a phone call from his friend Dave Griggs' girlfriend Andrea, who said she was worried about Griggs, who'd been acting strange since arriving that morning. News that worried Dallas, since he had watched Griggs get taken out of the Endron worksite in a body bag just days before. Meanwhile, John got a call from Todd after his near-fatal accident. While he was waiting for John to arrive, a man posing as a doctor entered Todd's room and brought a small, mutated octopus, who attempted to ambush the injured defender. Using his own edges, Todd branded the would-be assassin with a hunter symbol for monster and chased it down the hospital toilet. John arrived sometime later and helped get Todd out of the hospital without arousing further suspicion from the authorities. Nat, Dallas, after talking with John, and Dallas, you getting that phone call, the two of you had decided to go check in on the Griggs family. Dallas, Andrea had given you the location. It wasn't hard to find where Griggs' home was. It's in a neighborhood in Massachusetts, classic New England, where like these two-story multifamily homes are like right up against the street, all shoulder to shoulder, no barely alley space between. And you can see on the front of the door there are 4 mailboxes. So apparently it's a top, a bottom, and they're both split in 2. And on the top front is the last name Griggs.
Dallas insists we take 2 cars. You follow me. We're good. He feels good about the fact that he's met these other hunters, but he still is not ready to completely trust anybody about this.
At the time, Nat would have popped an eyebrow up, but taken it pretty easygoing, and she follows you to the location.
He'll park in front of the street, in front of the spot. Get out of the car, morally light in his lip, and he'll kind of point up at the apartment to Nat as she parks in behind him on the street.
She gets out of her car, locks it, stands by him.
Well, this is Griggs' place. I think I've drunkenly dropped him off here a couple of times.
Do you want to just knock? Or would you like to give one of those calls, say we've stopped by in the area?
We'll knock. I'll look around. Do I see Griggs' car anywhere?
You don't see his car.
We'll go up onto the porch and hit the doorbell.
few minutes later, you hear there's like thump, thump, thump coming down from some inside stairs, and then the door opens a crack. There's a chain, and there is a harried-looking woman with a baby in her arms. Hello?
Andrea, I'm Dallas.
Hello. I'm sorry. Yeah, come on in. She closes the door. You hear the noise of the chain.
This is my friend Nat.
She catches that there's a second person there when she's fully opening the door. Yep. Andrea seems maybe a little too trusting for the neighborhood that she lives in.
Fair.
Come on in. Hi, I didn't expect to see anybody.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Nat.
Yep.
I just figured I'd check in with you. You know, I heard how worried you were with things about Griggs, so.
Yeah. Come in. And she leads you guys up some kind of rickety, like, inside hall stairs to a very small little apartment. There's a crib in, like, the main living area. You can see sort of a closed door with a bedroom in the back. For the crampedness of this area, it's very well taken care of. Andrea clearly does a lot with not a lot. There's a TV playing in the background, and she just turns the volume all the way down, just watching like a daytime soap opera, and goes, no, please, he came home yesterday. It was kind of talking a little weird and just, restless. I thought something might have happened, and then maybe he got fired or something, and then, he went off this morning, said he had some business to get to, and
Dallas looks at his watch. What? It's late at this point, right?
At this point, it's probably like 6 o'clock. Like, not, the baby is still up, but not like, it's getting into the evening.
From my experience at the work site, what time would we usually be getting home at?
So the work site, you're usually out there for like a week at a time,
right? Kind
of deal. Maybe 2 weeks, depending on if you take the extra overnights, because it takes like a 5-hour boat ride to get back. So honestly, the idea of him, once in a while you'd have to go in maybe to like the local Endron thing to fill out some forms, do some paperwork or whatever. Mm-hmm. And those are regular 9 to 5 days. But other than that, there isn't really a like, well, I'm going to go out. I'll see you tonight. That's just not even part of the schedule. Something that doesn't really seem to have occurred to Andrea.
Dallas kind of like puts a big smile on. So this is the little one here?
Oh, this is Mimi.
Mimi, look at you.
She's named after my grandma.
She's already got a full head of hair coming in, huh? Look at that.
She came out with a head of curly black hair, and it's just getting longer.
How long have you had to just be watching? How old is she?
Oh, she's only 3 months. She's still little. She's just starting to develop a personality.
It's a lot of work to be watching a 3-month-year-old without help. Yeah,
it's tough, but they've been very understanding. I get to take her into my shifts and stuff sometimes, and, I had enough sick days to be able to use whenever things aren't, looking so hot. And the money that Dave was sending home was helpful, so.
Well, while we're talking, is there something small that I can help with? Grew up with a large family. I know that it's a lot of work.
As soon as you say I grew up with a large family, she actually puts the baby in your arms.
So
yeah, of course. Sorry. That'll help me. Let me tidy up. And then she starts like picking. There's not really much of a mess in here, but she starts picking up. And can I make coffee for anyone? Or
yeah, tell you what, coffee would be great. Andrew, you said Griggs was in this morning.
Yeah, Dave. Well, he came in. He came back last night, and then Dave left this morning. He said he'd be back later tonight.
Gotcha. When he's off on work site, does he usually call in to check in or anything like that, or?
Sometimes, honestly,
because usually we're out there for like a couple days at a time.
I thought things would change a little bit when Mimi was born, but he's been a little avoidant, honestly. Which is why it was such a nice surprise to see him when he came home yesterday. He was like very involved with me and the babies. He was affectionate in a way he hasn't been in a long time.
Nat is being very careful. Careful in the way of someone who is genuinely used to holding a kid. But quiet, giving out good energy, that occasional little rock that helps a kid acclimate to a new person. But she's also using the action of holding the baby to kind of do that like rock back and forth look around be observant of the space and have the excuse of, oh, I'm just kind of moving with the baby and cooing over her.
So the baby gets used to you pretty quick. She's still in that stage that babies are in where they're trusting of, like, everybody, no matter who's holding them. But also Nat is not unfamiliar with giving off good energy. Andrea seems very helpful, like very happy to have, in that way that a young parent is very happy to be like, I get 5 minutes without this fucking baby in my arms. Great, take it. The space itself seems, for a shared living space, it seems mostly devoid of the male part of this family. There's not really a lot of signs that Dave Griggs spends much time here at all.
Andrea, when was the last time, have you tried calling him today?
Well, I haven't tried to call him. I didn't want to bother him. And usually it doesn't even occur to me because, there's like no cell signal out on the work site. And, I don't want to like call the company phone, and that costs money. And so admittedly, I didn't even think about it. It didn't even occur to me to call him. I've got a phone. She points over to like a corded phone hanging on the wall. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, why don't you try giving him a call? Dallas is getting really kind of sketched out the fact that she called me to kind of like see what was going on with Dave, and now she hasn't even been calling after him. That seems a bit odd to me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dallas was initially just kind of like dumbstruck by the fact that he was apparently here today. While she's going to give a call, Dallas will be like, Andrea, where's the bathroom?
Oh, it's right over there.
He'll go over towards the bathroom and pop in. Man, he's going to do a classic root around in other people's bathrooms.
While he's doing that, Nat will stay close to the phone. She's doing it in the way of like, look at your mom. Like, that little way that people will kind of make a baby wave or interact. Her intention split between genuinely being nice to the baby and absolutely trying to listen into as much of this phone call as she can.
So phone rings. Andrea doesn't even seem to like consider that you might be eavesdropping, or I don't know. She seems like a very, if confused, pretty straightforward, guileless individual. You hear a, "What?" "Oh, nothing. I was just calling to see if you're going to be coming home tonight." "Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to be home soon." Is the baby there? And you and the baby are both there, right?" Yeah. Did you want me to make anything for dinner?" "No, I'm not hungry. I'll see you soon." And hangs up. And she kind of looks at the phone, a little hurt, but not surprised necessarily, and hangs up.
Did he pick up?
"Oh, yeah. He said he was going to be home soon, actually."
That's good, right?
Yeah.
When I say that's good, right, I am assessing her for whether that's good, right?
Roll me an empathy.
Empathy, what?
Well, are you trying to, like, get her to open up to you, or are you trying to, like, quietly see what her deal is?
I have the merit healthy skepticism, which allows me to reduce the difficulty to perceive a lie by 2.
Yeah, I'll just say she's not lying, but I think this would also help. I think this would also apply to somebody who, like, maybe is lying to themselves. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and apply it.
I wasn't sure if that would change which attribute I should be rolling with.
Yeah, do a perception.
Gotcha.
You're looking for diff 4.
I have 1 success.
So, she is nervous about him coming home. Something about his energy has been really off-putting. Maybe she didn't call and check in earlier because she didn't want to, even if she wasn't admitting that to herself. Maybe she called another point of contact, trying to check in with herself, like, oh, no one else would have noticed it. If someone else tells me I'm crazy, that will make me feel better.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I'm sure Dallas would love to say hi. If he's coming home soon, and you wouldn't mind if we stuck around.
You can read very clearly, just from your previous success, you can read very clearly in her demeanor that she both wants people around so she's not alone, and also doesn't want anyone there for fear that it would escalate something.
No, Nat is absolutely trying to say, hey, let us stay so that there'll be people there.
She kind of freezes up, and to cover for her freeze up, goes and takes the baby back. Just to be like, oh, she was fussy. She was not fussy, but...
Yep. No, Nat hands the baby over.
Dallas.
Yes.
Roll me an investigation intelligence as you snoop in the bathroom.
Dallas is a clever and creative guy, but investigation's not necessarily his best suit. He has a point. A single success.
As you're looking around, you see the stuff that you would expect to find here, right? You know, like prenatal vitamins, Tylenol, an unused box of Nicorette, shampoos and stuff in the tiny shower, little baby towels. And then as you are looking around, you find something a little weird. In the drain of the sink is a human tooth that looks like it rotted out of somebody's head. Full adult human tooth. Still with some blood dried around it. Like it went down, somebody tried to clean out the sink and, didn't quite get everything that stuck in the trap. Dallas, you've been in some fights in your day. This does not look to you like a tooth that got knocked out, but a tooth that fell or was pulled out.
The fuck is this? He holds it up for a second, kind of inspecting it, and then just kind of just drops it back in the sink, just kind of a little bit disgusted. Washes hands up, flushes the toilet.
As you flush the toilet, you got one success, right?
Yeah.
You jiggle the handle. It doesn't flush because probably the chain is disconnected.
He'll open up the back tank on the toilet.
And that's it. Just the chain was disconnected. Very easy to fix. Taped in a little bag on the back, in a Ziploc bag inside the toilet tank, are two things. A piece of yellow paper scrawled in extremely, you don't even need empathy for this, angry, hasty writing in red pen. He killed me. And a large triangular tooth.
Similar looking to how big are we talking?
You've got a very similar one in your pocket right now.
He'll snatch that bag out of the toilet, and he'll go back over to the dropped tooth, pick that back up, and he'll put that in the little baggie with the presumably giant shark tooth, and tuck that away in his jacket, and we'll head out into the living room.
As Dallas heads back out into the living room, Andrea is just sort of soothing the baby, and there is a flare of headlights through the front window as you all hear a car pulling up.
Without asking for permission, Nat had gone to finish whatever small task chore that Andrea had started. So if she had started kind of drying dishes, Nat had stepped into that role. Kind of, again, trying to just, oops, we're here. But I will mention that's probably the extent of the deception that I might be casually capable of. I have the flaw honest to a fault, so it doesn't make it harder for me to lie.
Oh, Andrea, you got that coffee?
I forgot. I took, and she looks over, and Nat, you are finishing making the coffee that she had started to make. I'm sorry, I just, I'm so sleep deprived ever since the baby. I just keep forgetting things. And she's very clearly, neither one of you needs to roll for this. She's very clearly throwing glances at the front window and at the front door. Dave Griggs is home.
You have your hands full, we understand. Thank you for coffee. You did most of it. Where are the mugs?
Oh, they're right up here. And she starts pulling out some old chipped, like novelty mugs and a lot of Red Sox stuff. And as she is getting them and getting the coffee, there are keys in the front upstairs door. And it opens, and carrying a long bag is Dave Griggs.
So, Feya probably should not be someone, since she has severe asthma, who works at an open hearth cooking demonstration. That being said, she does, and she's very good at it. She knows exactly how to get the cooking fire up to the right temperature. She gets the pots hung in the correct places. And this whole time she is talking to an active audience of visitors to the museum. She wears a well-used, dirty, a little threadbare apron. The audience is more or less kept on the other side of a rope that was made at the museum. In the meantime, she cooks the broth, she prepares a dessert, she is chopping and cooking and maintaining the consistency of the fire as she talks the whole time. She is not allowed to have water on display in a modern container, so she pretty frequently has a stoneware cup on the table that she keeps running back to keep her voice fresh. When she has a moment to do so, she will occasionally run over and take her rescue and gargle a couple times and spit so that she gets the soot out of her mouth. But for the most part, it's hot work. It really doesn't matter what season it is. As long as the doors are closed, it's hot. The house itself is extremely old, built circa the 1600s. For some reason, there's always a flayed, dried, and salted cod hanging in the corner of the room. She is fairly certain it's just for ambiance, but it's one of the things they do on the demonstration squad. This particular one she has helped to prepare.
In this, by American standards, ancient building, there's always rumors that these old New England homes are haunted. And for a fact, you are probably the only person who could tell for a fact that of all of them, this one is not. But it's fun to play up the ghost stories for tourists or museum visitors who don't have to see and deal with the things that you do ever since your eyes were opened. And as the last of the visitors for the day start to leave, a day where you weren't even supposed to be here until you got an angry phone call a few hours ago asking where you were, your supervisor, Marge to her friends, comes up sort of greeting the last of the stragglers, and then comes over to you. And as soon as the doors are closed and it's just the two of you in here, sort of drops character and goes, "Sweetheart, I don't know. I tried calling Gary. You said he was supposed to be covering for you?"
Yeah, I called him a couple days ago. I called him for coverage like 2 days ago, so I'd be able to go for an appointment in Rhode Island, further up, Massachusetts. Sorry.
It's okay. It's been a long day for you, apparently.
I've been in 2 states today.
Look, sweetheart. Well, we're kind of close to the,
Yeah, I mean, it's not the welcome and the...
Small but mighty.
Yeah.
Hey, so 2 days you're supposed to cover? That means tomorrow, too. You don't have... Do you know where he is? Do you know why he wouldn't show? Or why he wouldn't even tell us he was covering for you?
No. I mean, okay. Gary's a weirdo, but he's as reliable as any of us.
I don't want to be mean about all this, but I know that you said you got him to cover for you, but it's your responsibility to have to have the coverage here.
I thought I did.
Honey, you've been missing a lot of work. I don't know what's going on with you. Is everything all right?
No, I'm sick and nobody can figure out why. And I'm trying to get better, but it means I can't be here and get that done. So I'm trying to find coverage, and I got here as fast as I could, but...
And you got a doctor's appointment up near Boston or something tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll cover for you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
I promise.
I appreciate you.
And if Gary shows up tomorrow or whatever, I don't know why he's not answering his phone. You're right. He's usually pretty good about that.
Yeah. Well, I also...
and I like when he's working.
Yeah, no, he's great with the people.
Look, I'll cover for you tomorrow if you can't. Can you do me a favor and try and... This is a workplace, and I can't officially ask you to go to his house to check. But, like, I don't want to. I have other stuff I'm supposed to do tomorrow.
It's on my way. And you're not officially asking me anything.
I want you to go to your appointment, sweetheart, because you're good with everybody here. I don't like having to put on the boss voice, but, like, you miss another day, and...
The higher-ups are going to have something to say about it, I know.
Honey, I'm the higher-ups at this point.
I know.
You kids are like my family, and I want to take care of you, but there's only so much I can do. And you always used to be so reliable, and now I don't know what's going on with you.
Neither do I. All I know is I can't breathe.
She looks at you like, yeah, health problems, but her trust in the health problem reasoning is starting to crumble. Like, she believes you because she wants to believe you, not because she believes you. I'll cover for you tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
And then you got like 2 days, right?
Uh-huh.
Then it's the weekend, whatever. But then Sunday. You got to be here on Sunday.
I could be here on Sunday.
Okay?
Yep.
Full shift.
Full shift.
Okay. That's like 3 days from now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because it's today and then. How do you ever do the math on that? The 3 days?
I just show up when I need to, unless I'm dying.
Okay, great. Well, you need to. And, honey, dying better be literal if you miss on Sunday. You can't miss another one.
I mean, you saw the medical paperwork I sent in for the last one.
Yes, I did. All right. Okay. I'll let you be. You finish up here, clean up, and then if you can get through to Gary, that would be helpful. But he's not answering his phone, so I don't know what to tell you. And otherwise, I will cover for you tomorrow. Okay?
Appreciate it.
All right. Love you, doll.
Love you too. Sopheia will finish closing up the building for the night, clock out for the day.
Everybody else is starting to close up at this point. You see the guy, even the vendors who are not like officially part of the museum, like the Dell's Lemonade guy is like closing up his cart.
Feya grabbed the leftovers. Normally they would go to the common area, the old building where the employees take their lunch breaks or hang out on their regular breaks. But she did promise Gary he could have them. So she tucks them in her bag and she finds her bike, puts on her helmet, and she starts biking towards Gary's house.
It's about like 3 mile bike trip. Like nothing crazy. Gary actually lives pretty close by.
Yeah, most of the employees of the museum don't live far.
No. And you get to like a little, what you know to be like rented cape. Right? Just tiny little, like there's a bedroom in the back. You've been in there. There's like one bedroom, a bathroom, a little common area, a kitchen. That's the house. Because it's so close to the water, he doesn't really even have basement space. Mm-hmm. As you pull up, you see Gary's bike leaning against the fence. Locked. He always locks it up. Mm-hmm. It's locked up, but his bike is there. Gary doesn't really... I mean, he has a car, but... Mm-hmm.
Gas is expensive.
Yeah, and he usually just leaves it, like, parked in the driveway. The car is still there, still covered in that, like, early summer or late spring pollen.
Feya kind of sets her bike next to Gary's. She looks it over to see if he's used it recently. Like, is there a layer of pollen on the seat or the handlebars?
There is, yes.
She will go up and she will pound on the door. Gary! Gary! Are you okay?
After the you okay, you hear some motion inside, and then the door lock clicks, and you see Gary open the door, just standing there in, like, a pair of bike shorts and a tank top. Oh, Feya. Hi.
Feya raises an eyebrow because almost always Gary's greeting to her is Feya. Even when he's not well, his gladness to see her is always there. What's wrong?
Oh, just feeling a little under the weather. What's up?
Why did you end that with a question mark? Why is it a question that you're feeling under the weather?
All right, let me say that then. I'm feeling under the weather. What's up? Is that better? Is that more comfortable? Or I don't feel well. What's going on?
Why weren't you at work today?
Think I answered that with I don't feel well?
Yeah, but you would have called me.
I tried. I guess it didn't go through.
Feya looks at him more critically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this does not seem at all like Gary.
No, he seems a little off. Could just be that he's sick, but roll me a wits empathy.
Would my spec and vigilant count?
Yes.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 6 for both of you, as this is a contested roll.
I got 2 successes.
Yeah, he doesn't look well. He looks sick. He looks off. I mean, obviously, you don't do that, but now that you're, like, looking at him, now that you're kind of testing him, he's trying to... He is very... So here's what you will 100% get. He's trying to get you out of here. He doesn't want you coming in the house. He doesn't want you checking. I'm not going to tell you how many successes he had or what he was rolling, but I will say what you do notice is that it's unclear whether or not he wants you out of here, like, for your own safety. Like, hey, man, I'm sick. Don't, like, get out of here. Or if he wants you out of here because he wants you to stop asking him questions. You cannot quite nail that down. But looking at him, he looks a little sweaty, like a cold, like an unnatural sweat, like he's sick. His eyes are a little glassy, as if you have fever. And you see like a little red marks, like he's got a rash or like a little mottling on his skin.
What kind of rash does it look like?
Roll me medicine intelligence. With the circumstances, it's a little hard just by... So this will be diff 7.
Okay. Well, I had a success, but I also had a 1. So, no clue.
Just seeing him sweat there in the doorway. The lights aren't on in the house behind him and the curtains are drawn, so like it's tough to tell. He's kind of standing a little bit in shadow. It's tough to diagnose a rash just from looking on the doorstep like this.
Lucky you, I brought you the food from the open hearth display today, like I said I would.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Thank you. Yeah. I was... Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to cover for you today.
Yeah, and tomorrow. But if you're sick, someone will take care of it.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be feeling better tomorrow.
Oh?
Yeah, it'll be fine. You don't have to worry. I'll be back at the museum tomorrow.
Okay. Well, why don't you go back and lie down? I'll put the stuff away. I left my inhaler in there anyway.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. Katie's home, and you know how, I just she'll take care of me. You just leave it here.
Oh, Katie, hi.
She's sleeping right now. She's not feeling well either.
Oh, she's not feeling good either.
No.
Then why don't you let me go put it in the fridge for you so that she doesn't have to wake up?
I'll take care of it. And he puts a hand out. It's like, you just hand it to me. I got it. Don't worry about it. You can see some of that mottled rash is also on like the palm of his hand and his fingers. Almost like little...
Is it like a sting mark or is it like a sickness rash?
It's like a sickness. It's like...
Is it like pustules? Is it like redness?
It is like a sort of purpley redness that's like mottling some of his skin now that his hand comes out into the light.
Jesus, what'd you do to your hand?
Like I said, I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, let me call my immunologist real quick.
You don't have to do that. And I'm fine. Honestly, it's probably an STD. I've got antibiotics, and you know me.
I do know you, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no chance that you wouldn't let me in your house.
All right, well... Thanks for your concern, Feya. But I'm going to go lay down now, and he just moves to close the door on you.
She shoulder checks it open. Then let me go and put...
This will be a contested strength athletics as he tries to forcibly close the door, and you try and shoulder it back open.
Difficulty, or...
Contested at 6.
Okay. 2 successes.
He has 3 successes. Gary is a pretty strong guy. Like, he exercises a lot. He's pretty athletic. Thanks again for your concern, Feya, but I'll be better. I just need some rest. I'm sure of it. Good night.
Feya will take the food out of her bag and set it on the doorstep and say, I need the Tupperware back when you're done.
I'll bring it tomorrow. I'll bring it to the museum.
So one of the privileges of working at a museum is employees can access their libraries pretty much all the time. So Feya will take another bike ride, and she will go to the museum library and find a computer and get back on the net.
Just like with any computer with internet access, you find your way practiced and quickly to HunterNet.
Is there a way to, tag people on HunterNet?
Not really.
Okay.
There is a search function, though.
So, with that in mind, Feya will compose a message and include the handles of Blessed Headache, Grotto, Maverick, and Placebo. And say, something weird's going on with a coworker. Awkward rash, not himself. She will also describe the rash.
None of them get back right away, but there are some people who sort of either just through happenstance or providence or just because they happen to be on at the right time are on a lot. And this guy, DIY therapist, replies pretty quickly and goes, "That's weird. There was a guy near me who had a weird rash too. He just went missing."
Feya's never done a meetup on her own before. She's mostly just shown up at places where people were already planning to meet. But she will reply to the DIY therapist and basically ask to meet at a Dunkin'.
He just responds, "I'm in the New England area. I have to look for this guy. If things escalate, hit us up."
Will do. She might wait about 5 minutes just to be glad sitting after being on her feet all day. But eventually the impatience will get to her. And she will get her phone out and call for Blessed Headache and see if he's available, because he seemed to be in charge of the whole thing.
You'll send it off and meet back up with the rest of this budding circle.
Dave, buddy, what's going on, man?
He starts as if he did not expect to see anyone else here, puts the long bag down on the landing, out of sight, and steps through. "Oh, hey, Dallas, what's up, man?
Doing all right, Dave.
What are you doing here?"
I'm just swinging through. I figure it's about time that I, came over to say hi to you and the family, see the little one.
Yeah, since, we're all on shore leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, how you feeling from the other night?
I'm walking around.
How's your neck? He kind of he pulls at his own collar to kind of show the sides of his neck.
And he just stares at you when you ask about his neck. Looks at Andrea and then goes, "Oh, sorry, honey, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, I sprained my neck a little bit the other day, but it's nothing. It's no big deal."
That's not what I was talking about. I'm just razzing him because we were always talking about how we're on the ocean so much we might be growing gills or something. You know? Yeah.
If a man could kill someone with eyes that said "shut the fuck up," he would be throwing them directly at Dallas, and the only two people in the room who don't get it are Andrea and the baby.
Nat, leaning back, has filled a mug with coffee, and she passes one out to Dallas. But as she's doing so, she is seeking to activate her second sight.
As you activate the sight, you see that, for all intents and purposes, everyone in this room is normal. The messengers don't call any attention to Andrea or the baby or Dallas. And then you look at Griggs, and you get that resonant sense of wrongness that the second sight provides.
Nat continues handing out coffee to Andrea, but as she kind of turns from handing the coffee to you, Dallas, she dips her head and connects eyes for a long moment, indicating with a slight widening of them that there is something to see.
Upon seeing Nat give that expression, he takes the coffee, gives a quick thanks, and looks back at Griggs. Dallas has never had to activate his sight before, but he stares hard.
It just looks like Griggs. It looks like the Griggs that you always did. And then the car passes outside. They're on the front half of the house, and the headlights come through the window. And as you're doing that, they like get in your eyes for a second. Like it's almost blinding. And as the light hits your eyes, you find that you aren't actually blinded by that light, that the darkness in the corners of the room is not as oppressive. And you look at Griggs as not the second sight, but your discern edge activates.
When I activate my discern edge, do I have to spend conviction or anything like that?
You do not.
Okay.
You just need to figure out how to get it to work.
Gotcha.
As you look at him, this is maybe an opportunity for me to explain how one gains conviction in the hunt. Once per scene, you may bid conviction on the activation of an edge. If you succeed, you gain a point of conviction. If you fail, you lose all the conviction that you bid on the roll. If you botch, you lose all of your conviction.
So what is the activation roll for zeal? Or I'm out for discern.
Yeah, half of it.
For discern.
It's perception zeal. Diff 6.
My full zeal.
Yes.
Yep.
The more into the hunt you get, the easier it becomes to activate your edges. But there are problems when your virtues get too high.
Understood.
If we ever get there, we'll deal
I
with it.
will bid a point of conviction.
All right.
I am exacting. Would that count on a activation roll?
Yes, it would.
4 successes.
So you will have discern up at your whim for the next 40 minutes.
And I'll also gain a point of conviction, correct?
You will also gain a point of conviction. So here's what discern does mechanically for your purposes. It ignores all the rules of blind fighting, whether or not you are in the dark or being blinded by bright lights. And when you look at Griggs, you notice some little exacting details, why exacting applies, that otherwise might not stick out. Griggs doesn't actually have any of those little marks on his neck. His neck looks normal. Whatever happened went away. Griggs is not breathing. He's standing, he's talking, his lungs only take in, apparently, when he expels air to talk. He is not breathing at all. Not in the way that you saw him choking before, but like, he is not breathing. His chest does not rise. There is no heartbeat beneath his rib cage. You see little bits of blue around the edges of his fingertips that you didn't notice before. And the way that he looks, he keeps looking at the baby, and he is looking at it not with a mixture of love and resentment, but as if a switch is being toggled rapidly back and forth between love and hate. And his eyes are also drawn to your pocket, where you just put that plastic bag. He has no way to see it, but it's like he knows something important to him is in there.
Dave, we gotta have a talk, man.
Can it wait till tomorrow, buddy?
No.
Because, I had a long day
No,
today.
it can't wait till tomorrow. And I think we ought to do it somewhere else. Maybe outside so I can smoke a cigarette. I don't want to smoke in front of the kid.
Yeah, how about we go do that?
Oh, by the way, did I introduce you to my friend Nat?
No. I didn't know you had friends out here.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
Well, welcome to our home, Nat.
She just lifts her hand and gives a small wave.
All right, Dallas. Let's go outside.
Dallas double times it so he gets to the door first, but kind of looks back at Nat to make sure, like, that she's on the other side of him, so we're kind of penning him in. He'll open the door, and he'll grab the long package on the other side.
As soon as you put hands on it, it is very clearly a rifle.
He'll just snatch it up like it's nothing, and just start walking downstairs.
Connecting eyes, Nat looks to you asking, "You want this conversation man to man, or are we heading out together?"
Nah, come on with us, it's alright.
We'll check back in, Andrea, okay?
Sure, yeah. Okay. She seems very much at a loss for what's going on. And again, simultaneously, Nat, you would particularly pick up on this, simultaneously relieved that Dave is leaving and sad that he's going.
Nat moves quickly to kind of cut off any avenues of question. But as she goes, just a light, comforting hand on the forearm of the woman as she passes. But she is absolutely following Dallas's move here.
And you guys get out to the, like, front porch that is a narrow sidewalk away from the road.
As a small note, she did bring the coffee out with her. At least hers.
I think Dallas probably set his down as he was kind of moving to the door, knowing that he was going to snatch up that package.
So what are you doing here, Dallas? And Griggs just sort of sits on these, like, old sagging wicker chair.
He pulls out a cigarette, a Morley light, pops it in his mouth, lights up. You want one, man?
Yeah, I think I do.
He takes the black lighter and puts it in the pack and just tosses the whole pack to him.
He takes one out, lights it, starts smoking, looks really disappointed on that first drag.
So you gonna bullshit me about what's going on, or you gonna level?
I don't think anybody else would fucking believe it, but we both saw what happened out there. How free are we to talk right now? And he looks over at Nat.
I trust her with what's going on here.
Yeah, she knows what happened to you? To us?
Yeah.
Almost before Dallas had said yeah, her inclination is obviously to nod.
All right, then. So the way I see it, two of us are sitting here, and one of us made it off, and the other one didn't. That's what I see.
You're dead.
That motherfucker killed me.
What motherfucker?
That fucking shock guy, whatever. He's the reason I'm like this. We both saw it. We both saw what fucking happened to me, and I fucking drowned in that sink, or choked, or whatever the fuck you call it.
You started growing gills.
Yeah, I know. They explained it to me. Or I heard them talking after I was dead. I don't know, it's confusing.
Who explained it to you?
I heard the fuckers talking. They said the fucking sharks. And sometimes that happens, they do this. That motherfucker did this. The ones that were jumping up and killing everybody and doing whatever. It's because we were doing our fucking jobs.
Dave, those fucking things were going crazy, but did you see the fucking team that came out from the deep compression tank?
No, I was a little busy. Fucking dying.
Endron is fucked, man.
Well, Endron didn't do shit to me. That fucking shark did.
They put us in the way of the sharks.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. That's right.
They knew what was down there. And they had a whole team of guys with fucking automatic weapons and armor just waiting to respond. They knew it was that dangerous and they put us in that fucking rig anyways.
Oh, so you agree then? Then the people who put us on that rig, those are the ones who have to pay.
Can you help me understand? You say that you've died.
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
I don't know how much there is to walk through.
His lungs aren't working. He's not breathing that.
I ain't fucking choked to death out there on that fucking rig because of whatever that fucking thing did to me. That shark man thing. I heard him talking. It's those fucking sharks. They just do that. They hurt people. And that's what it did to me. And I couldn't breathe and I fucking died. And they took me out of there on a goddamn body bag. And then things got real fucking confusing. And then I woke up inside this fucking corpse. My fucking corpse.
Slow nodding from Nat. She is seeing that what Dallas has explained is true.
Nat, you're an experienced hunter. You've been around the block. You've worked with some people in the past. You are familiar with what a rot is. There are people who talk about like super rots or they make all sorts of distinctions. You're not a rot expert necessarily.
Nope.
But sometimes zombies, ghosts get into bodies, whatever. Lots of people debate what the fuck it even means. But talking about him like this, now that you're looking, Griggs is a rot. And he's still smart. And you know enough about rots to know that when you're an innocent, sometimes the ones who can still think can be helped. But the ones who can still think are also the ones that are wildly the most dangerous. Look, I don't want to be like this any more than anyone else does. So I'm just trying to resolve some unfinished business, yeah? And then once I do that, who knows what the next reward is, right?
So,
I don't want to be here no more.
Okay. What's the gun for?
To punish the people who put us on that rig. Punish the reasons we were out there.
Endron.
That's one of them.
And the shark people.
It's another one.
Who else?
He cannot help his eyes from flicking towards the door upstairs.
You've met with a harrowing fate. Do you feel like yourself?
I feel like death puts a lot of things in perspective.
Dave, tell me you weren't going to punish your family for making you pay for them. Tell me you weren't going to punish them for making you work all those hours on the rig.
I wouldn't have been out there if it weren't for that fucking baby.
Dallas's face twists up in like a snarl, and he leaps onto Dave and just grabs him by the shirt. Tell me different. You did not want to punish your family. Make me believe it, you piece of shit.
You don't know what it's like.
He slams him against the wicker chair. Tell me, make me believe it, you piece of shit.
You don't know how loud the voices are.
Slaps him across the face.
When you slap him, his face does not move an inch. And it's not like he's no-selling it. It's like it did not rock the rigor mortis muscles in his neck at all. It's like slapping a statue. Sometimes I remember how much I love him, and sometimes I want to fucking kill him.
Pull it together!
He's not crying because his body cannot produce tears, but you can see the, like, waver and desperation and fear and hate in his eyes, all at war with itself, like he's just flicking back and forth.
Dallas lets him go and stands up and kind of just, like, collects himself for a second.
You don't know what it's like to wake up zipped inside a body bag. To walk around in your own decaying corpse.
No, Dave, that's your burden. I don't know what that's like.
Every day I feel a little bit less like myself.
You trust I'm your friend?
Fuck, man. You asked me that.
Because I am your friend. And I'm gonna make sure that Endron and those shark bastards pay for this shit. But I'm also gonna make sure that you don't fucking touch your family. Because I know that you went out to that rig every fucking day to pay for them. You're not going to see them again. You understand that?
Yeah, I guess so.
And I don't trust that you're not gonna try.
I don't trust me right now, neither.
Sometimes a stranger can wear a familiar face. If you got moments of being yourself, I hope you remember them. But your family deserves to be loved, not hurt.
I don't know. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't.
If you can recognize that you've changed, then recognize that the way that you need to handle it has changed.
Nah, I think you're misunderstanding. There's only one way this ends.
No, I get it. I'm gonna go. Are you still holding on to him?
No, I'm just standing above him.
He sort of goes to stand up.
Dallas doesn't move and just kind of shakes his head.
Dallas, he's what's known as a rot.
Okay.
He's dangerous. He very well could hurt people. But he's kept his intelligence, which means there's something of him left.
Does it get better?
Griggs looks directly at Nat, also listening to this rot talk with this hopeful, like, does it?
Does it? I don't
No,
know the
Nat,
answer.
it does not.
Oh.
Rots can be helped. You can, at best, some hunters talk about how maybe they can help them resolve things like ghosts. But otherwise, it's, you put him in the ground. Eventually, he will rot too much. Eventually, he will turn into what is colloquially known as a shambler, driven by instinct and nothing else.
It's a good thing I explained that honest to a fault flaw earlier. Nat goes quiet for a few moments, trying to think of a way to soften what she's about to say. Griggs, you're dead. You can try to handle this, but this body's gone. This body's going to keep rotting, and you can't keep walking around in it. I know someone. She seems like she might be able to help redeem your spirit. Help you pass on, get some peace. I'm not sure how that works. It's not my specialty. But you can't keep going like this.
It's barely been a couple days.
Something unfortunate happened to you, and I wish that it hadn't. But you've died, you know that. It's only been a couple days. You've gotten to see your family again. Do what's right by them and let yourself get helped.
I'm not gonna make it to the series, am I?
No, I don't think we got time for that.
Fucking A.
I don't think this is their year anyways, man.
It's gonna be 1 year, I swear to God. They're gonna make it 1 year. I can't go back upstairs, can I?
I don't trust you to.
God, I shouldn't have even come back. The baby's gonna think her dad ran out on her.
You want to write them a letter?
No, I ain't no good at that.
Is there anything I can do to keep an eye on him?
Just make sure I don't come back, I guess. If the mood strikes, I don't know.
Dallas kind of inclines ahead, looking at Dave.
He doesn't seem aware of the implications of what he said. He seems to have implied, like, maybe you'll check up once in a while and make sure I'm not around. Like,
Yeah.
Griggs was a good guy, one of the smartest guy. He goes to stand up, tries to get out of the wicker.
He'll let him step up.
You
You wanna go for a ride?
yeah, maybe so. We'll go find that shot guy that killed me. Yeah? Maybe we'll start there. Maybe that's a good thing to do. Be productive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That sounds good. And he goes to, pats his pockets for his keys.
We'll take my car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got money for the gas?
I'm fine, man.
All right.
You got your keys on you, though?
Yeah, I got them right here.
Here, toss them in that. We'll leave the car at the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No problem, man. You're, shit, I don't know if I ever said it enough. You're a good friend, Dallas.
Thanks, Dave. You too, man.
Looks like the intention is for me to bring the keys back into the house.
Yeah, he just, leaving the car and the keys here.
Mm-hmm. Nat will catch the keys as they're thrown, walk back up to the apartment, knock.
Andrea opens the door.
Sorry for the abruptness. She hands the keys to Andrea.
She takes them, and in that moment, it becomes very clear to you that she had cracked the front window and was listening to the whole conversation.
Does she seem like she's able to hear the details? How is she stricken? Is she torn down?
Hollow. Like the implications of everything that are being talked about either can't or won't or haven't yet clicked into place. But there is an air of finality about her when she takes those keys.
Nat looks to connect eyes and makes the gesture of offer for a hug.
She just opens the door wider and starts sobbing uncontrollably in a way that maybe she hasn't been able to do in a long time.
Nat wraps her in a very tight hug, providing the support for what's probably going to be a body-racking amount of sorrow. And honestly, we'll just stand there with her as she's getting it out.
It's not until Mimi starts to cry that she sort of pulls herself together in the way that a mom who has been alone has to do. And she sort of wipes her eyes and her nose on her sleeve and doesn't say thank you with words, but just gives you a silent nod of gratitude.
Hey, I'm gonna leave you a number for a phone I got, okay? And we'll check back in, even as things are hard and continually unfair.
Yeah. Yeah. And she takes the number. And she closes the door.
Be safe. And Nat heads back down, making some effort to try and hide the tear stain probably on her shoulder.
Path of Night, Brine and Blood is an actual play Hunter the Reckoning podcast set in the world of darkness. Dallas McCoppin was played by Garrett Gabbey. John Spencer was played by Tim Davis. Feya Quinn was played by Erika Webb. Nat Chowdhurani was played by Rebecca Steigelfest. Todd Keating was played by Lex Lopez. Your storyteller was Rob Muirhead. This episode edited by Rob Muirhead. The theme music used in this episode was Sadness Room by Denis Goncharov. Find their music online at pixabay.com. Character art by Jay Steele. Find more of their work at Steele Art on Bluesky. Brine and Blood uses the revised edition of Hunter the Reckoning with few limited house rules. Hunter the Reckoning and the World of Darkness are owned by Paradox Interactive. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/pathofnight. You can help support the show at ko-fi.com/pathofnight. And you can find us at Path of Night Podcast on Bluesky, Twitter, and Facebook, or email us at pathofnightpodcast@gmail.com. Take back the Night Hunters.
Can't wait for this guy to wild out and prove me viciously wrong.
Another thing.
What's that?
Can't wait for this guy to wild out and prove me viciously wrong.
Oh, I'm killing him.
Yeah.
I would have been on board with that too.
Oh, yeah, right? No, like,
Those are rots. No, thank you.
I hope you understand that I am setting you up to be right.
Strat already got a gun.
oh, yeah, no.
Is going to pursue an agenda. You have to put it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just done.
1,000,000%.
It is also helped by the fact that earlier
Judgment is coming.
Yeah, thanks for the gun, nerd.
Earlier I was like, intelligent rots.
Just look at the
real
flowers.
bad.
Yeah.
Just look at the flowers, buddy.
To be completely honest, I wasn't entirely sure what Rob was saying. The explanation helped. He very much like helped clear it up for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was also. It's just.
Their sentience fades as they rot and the brain breaks down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Just feral killers.
But even the smart ones tend to just, also be driven to kill, and they're just better at it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they go dumb and become killers no matter what. So.
Uh-huh.
How to do a rot. You have to put a rot into the first part of the hunter story.